You look, go ahead. Okay, cut. All right. Shalom, shalom. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in His work. And as always, you believers, you know, the Akim as well as the Aqua, which consists of the brothers and sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So we back once again, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And as always, you know, we coming under the banner of prophecy as commanded by our Lord Yahweh Shai. And as we move closer and closer to that return of our Lord, things are going to get rough, man. All right. You know, you got to just get your mind ready, get your mind right, as it is written in the book of Sirach, the second chapter. You know, how, matter of fact, get that real quick. Sirach 2, set thou heart aright.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, starting 1. It said, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation."
Right, prepare your soul, all right? Prepare your life. Meaning you have to come out of this world, you have to detach from whatever America has to offer, because pretty much Babylon, which is confusion, is set up geared to please the flesh. All right, you got to come out of that. You got to make that hard transition to the spirit. See, go ahead.
It says, "Set thy heart aright."
Yep, set thy heart aright, which means get your mind right. See, go ahead.
"And constantly endure."
And constantly endure. Go ahead.
"And make not haste in time of trouble."
Right, in time of trouble, which the tail end of America, as this place break down and begin to collapse, and ultimately as we embark on the destruction, the overall destruction of this place, it's going to get bad out here, man. You know, it's going to be a troublesome time. The tribulation is going to overwhelm you people out there, right? So the tail end of America is going to be a bitter end. America to the bitter end. Probably to the name of that, man. America to the bitter end, man. Because that's how this place is going to go out. It's going to be it's going to go out bitterly. Which when you go into the word America, it actually translates to bitter. All right. But before we go there, you got something? Give me Revelation, the 10th chapter. Because that's another thing that you got to be willing to embrace. The fact that this book is not just, you know, peaches and cream. If that's what these so-called Christians mainly like to promote, man. They package the Bible as if it's, you know, the banner in which everybody should come together under. You know, as if this book was set up to push forth peace, to promote peace. No, that's not the case. This word was actually set up to, matter of fact, you get something?
You want to put some more?
Oh, yep, give me that. That's what I want. Yep, give me what you got.
Yeah, this is Revelation 10 and 9. Mm-hmm. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, "Give me the little book."
Give me the little book. And that little book is symbolic to the scriptures. You know? And when you look at this book, it's like a volume. It's like a damn encyclopedia that's compact together. You got it's history in this book. You got songs. You got psalms. You got prophecies. You got the writings of the prophets. You got the acts of the disciples. You got the Apocrypha, which is also history, you know? This book is compiled with a matter of fact, when you go into that word Holy Bible, that's what it means. The word Bible goes back to the Greek word biblios, which means books. So, and the word holy means true or separate. So you have a true collection of books. That's what this is. Oh, that's another thing. You have niggas that get stumbled at this book, but they frame it as one book. No, this is a collection of texts and writings that's compiled into one scroll, one book. See? So that's why it's really a marvel how you can get all these writings in this book. And also, you know, as we consider the times that we're in now, right? You have Bible apps. You actually have the Bible on your phone. You have the app where you have just a little book. And scripture's bad. Now read that again.
It said, and I went into the angel and said unto him, give me the little book.
See, give me the little book. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, take it and eat it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what it means when it says take it and eat it up, meaning digest it. All right. Once you hear this word, you have to digest it. You got to be willing to digest it, and not just the sweet, but the bitter as well. You got a lot of Israelites out there. They're willing to digest the idea of being an Israelite, you know, being numbered amongst the sons of the Most High, you know, understanding and knowing that you qualify to receive an inheritance. They all for that. But when it comes to the bitterness of the scriptures, you know, being willing to walk away from things, you know, you might have to sever certain relationships, detach from this world, make sacrifices for Yahweh Shem Shah. Well, our people, they're not willing to fulfill that aspect of it, right? But we are to down and digest this book in its entirety, the sweet as well as the bitter, right? Go ahead.
He said, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter.
It shall what?
Make thy belly bitter.
Yeah, it's going to make your belly bitter, meaning your mind. Go ahead.
But it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
Right, be in your mouth sweet as honey. Matter of fact, let's look up that word bitter, see what they give you. Go ahead.
Quick precept on Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll.
Yep, eat this roll, and that's dealing with this book, right? And again, to eat it means to digest it. You got to be willing to digest this book. Go ahead.
And go speak unto the house of Israel.
Yeah, and go speak unto the house of Israel. That's what we was commanded to do. Once you digest this book, then you go out and teach. Go ahead.
It says, so I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with the roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
Yep, and we just read that, and that was reiterated right here in Revelation, the 10th chapter. Go ahead.
It says, and he said unto me, son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them.
And that's what you're witnessing right now. We're speaking the words of Yahweh Shem Shah. This is not about our own strength. We simply convey and present to you the words of the Heavenly Father, all right, through his son, Yahweh Shah, which is framed in the scriptures. This book captures the very spirit of our Lord, Yahweh Shah. That's why he's known as the Word of the Most High. So did that give you anything?
Yeah, it says to that word bitter. It says to make bitter. It says to produce a bitter taste in the stomach. It says to embitter. And I got that word embitter. And it says cause someone to feel bitter or resentful. That's the word. It says
and it's a reason why this book not only pushed forth, you know, sweetness, because hey, it was sweet to your ears, it was sweet to the taste when you found out that you was an Israelite. You know, when you found out that you wasn't just the bottom of the bottom as it was packaged to you. You know, when you found out that you was the sons of the Most High, the highest power conceivable. You know, and that your enemies will be put down, you eventually be exalted. But there's also a bitterness that comes with this scripture, man, with this book. And mainly that bitterness is going to be summed up in the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's what we're going to touch on in this lesson. You got something real quick?
Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief.
Yep, and much wisdom is much grief. And wisdom is found where? In the scriptures. This is true wisdom. All right, not conventional wisdom, being validated by the so-called white man in the form of some damn paperwork, whether it's a degree, a bachelor's degree, a doctor's degree, where this man sign off on your wisdom. No, true wisdom is found within the scriptures. Read that again.
It's Ecclesiastes 1:18.
Mm-hmm.
For much wisdom is much grief.
Yep, and much wisdom is much grief. Go ahead.
And he that increaseth knowledge.
Yep, and he that increaseth knowledge. Go ahead.
Increaseth sorrow.
Increaseth sorrow, man. So this book, there's a bitter aspect to this book. That's why when you read the prophets, it's usually framed by the burden of the Lord, to Isaiah, or the burden of the Lord to that respective prophet or this prophet, And that's why, for the most part, the prophets, they shied away from taking on this responsibility. They didn't want the weight on their shoulders of going for pushing his word. Like Jeremiah, he made an excuse. Moses, he made an excuse. He said he's slow of speech. Isaiah, I'm of unclean lips, and I dwell amongst the people with unclean lips. Jonah went and fled away from trying to fulfilling the will of Yahweh Shemashah. Why? Because there's a certain burden that comes along with this word. Okay? All right, go ahead. You got something?
Just one more. I got precept too.
Mm-hmm.
With the other word, similar word for that word in bitter is vex.
Oh, vex. Yep. We're going to go deeper into that word bitter. All right? Go ahead up.
Yeah, this ain't Matthew 11:16. But whereunto shall I liken the generation?
Mm-hmm.
This is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto the fellows.
Right, and that symbolizes the men that you see throughout the landscape of America, Babylon the Great, near and far, throughout the world for that matter. These different camps which have sprung up, mainly the teachers here at Great Millstone, right? Who have the doctrine of our Lord Yahweh Shah. We would be those children in the marketplaces crying out to our fellows, right? Go ahead.
It says, and saying, we have piped unto you.
Yeah, we have piped unto you, meaning that's the sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a song piping, you should dance and you should rejoice. All right, we piped unto you how? By telling you that you are the most important people on the planet Earth. You're the children of Israel. And it'll behoove you to return to your power, man, right? But you didn't dance to it. See, go ahead.
It said, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
Go ahead.
We have mourned unto you.
And that's the balance. That's the bitterness of the scripture. We have mourned unto you. How do we mourn unto you? By telling you that America is going to be destroyed. There's going to be a great famine. We're about to go into a dark winter, as this guy Biden said, man. All hell is about to break loose, We're about to go into unprecedented times. That's a form of us mourning unto you. And that will usually happen. You tell somebody the good news at first, and then they buck up against it, then you tell them the bad news. But you're going to die, Oh, since you don't want to hear, you don't want to rejoice, okay, we're going to bring out the trap music. Go ahead.
It said, we have mourned unto you,
Uh-huh.
and ye have not lamented.
Yeah, you should be lamenting right now, When we tell you that all hell is about to break loose, the Lord has prepared judgment for America, which the Lord is poised to pour out his fury upon the inhabitants of the planet Earth. And the Lord has the so-called white man in his sights, but guess what? As well as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and that's pursuant to the book of, Isaiah 13. Those who are joined unto him shall be thrust through. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind of going back on that vex. It's 2 Peter 2 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
Right, and America has greatly offended, because the scriptures clearly outline that the Lord left Sodom and Gomorrah as an example for anybody that come afterward to follow that pattern. And what this devil turn around and do? He turn around and be twice the devil as there was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, if you was the citizens, inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring 5 cities, you are blessed at the shit that these devils is doing, man. They got sex. You can go and have a sex change. You can change from a man to a woman and vice versa. They'll give you estrogen. If you're a man, and if you're a woman, they'll give you testosterone, man. Just pretty much change the very nature of what you was created to be. And that's just scratching the surface, man. If you knew the thing that these devils was doing behind, matter of fact, hold that and give me Ephesians. Because what these devils do, like for an example, the Bohemian Grove, you got a bunch of old Edomites chasing each other, playing hide and go get, man. in the wilderness. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, this is Ephesians 5:11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Right, you are not to attach to this place, America, man. We're in a time where you have to detach from this place, right? Come from out of this place, and it starts with a mindset, and that's outlined in the book of Romans, the 12th chapter, right? Go ahead.
It said, but rather reprove them.
Yeah, we are to reprove these devils. We are to shine the spotlight on the things that they do, because they like to deal under this shroud of secrecy, man, right? But this word was set up as a light. And now we're in a time when we scrutinizing you devils. You know, you're on a hot seat, quarters in session, and you're being examined. You're being cross-examined. We're questioning you. Where was you in 7 AD? All right, go ahead. You know you done fucked up, don't you? That's us. we thoroughly interrogating you devils, man. That's why you got these YouTube guidelines. They're on this manhunt against the men of the Lord. You know, this witch hunt, if you will, right? And they're on an all-out campaign to demonize the truth. Go ahead, Doc.
It said, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
See, it's a shame to even speak of the things that these devils do in secret, man. See that? So that's what, matter of fact, you got more on that?
No, that was
So that's why the scriptures say that Sodom and Gomorrah was left as an example, which we go into the word example, it translates to example. Sodom and Gomorrah was left as an example of how not to be. All those who come afterwards, how not to be. And this devil come right around and far exceed the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah. See? So what's next? How about Shema Shai is going to destroy you? You got something else?
A little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
2 Peter 2 and verse 7, and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Yep, with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Sounding real quick. Let's get the information that you got, please.
Oh, no, I ain't got nothing.
Let's get the information that you got. And we're going to just go into what's going to contribute to the bitterness that's about to be on display here in America, man. All right? It's about to get bad out here. And it's our role to convey that to you, man. You know, we're not here. No, now we do comfort one another with these words. That's pursuant to what's that? 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, around the 18th verse. But the overtone message is to warn you, man, of the hell that's about to break loose here in America. All right, you got something?
Yeah, quick precept. Ezekiel 3 and verse 17, son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Right, and that's where we come in at. We will be considered watchmen over the flock. All right, the Lord gave us the task of overseeing his flock, man. And we are to warn you, you know, of the impending danger that's on the horizon. Go ahead, Doc.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
See, and that's what we're doing. We're giving you warning. You know, we pretty much briefing you on the things that's about to take place, man. Matter of fact, give me, you got more on this? Give me Jeremiah real quick. I believe it's Jeremiah 6 and 10. All right. Real quick before you get that, let's get this.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, to whom shall I speak and give warning?
Read that again.
It says, to whom shall I speak and give warning?
Right. So the overtone of this message is to warn you, man. And we often touch on it in the time of Noah. What was the overtone of that message? His whole ministry was centered around warning the people. See? And that legacy is continued to this very day. Which, when you go into all the prophets, that was the case, man. Hey, Jonah, he was sent to warn the people in Nineveh, man. Hey, even Yahushua, which was the prophet, he was warning Israel of 7 AD and beyond. All right, go ahead up.
It says, to whom should I speak and give warning that they may hear?
That they may hear, which means to understand, right? Go ahead.
Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot slacken. It says, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it.
Right. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they don't delight in this word. You know, our people, they pretty much look at us as restrictions. That's what we represent. We come to shut the party down. And we tell you that the party is over. All right. And unless you return to your power, then you're going to be destroyed. See? So all right, go ahead. Oh, you got the summary in.
Yeah, yeah. This from CNN Politics, and it reads: Justice Department rushing to expand execution methods.
Well, hold up. Let's pay attention to it. Let's eat this. Let's digest this. Read this again.
It said Justice Department rushing,
right? They rushing. Go ahead.
to expand execution methods.
To expand execution methods. Real quick, can you give me Revelation the 12th chapter and the 12th verse? Why is this man rushing to do this?
Yep.
Because he's simply fulfilling biblical prophecy, man. See, what you're going to find out is the so-called white man is on the clock. Hey, again, if you consider, and we touched on that, if you consider like sports, whatever sport, it could be basketball, football, or whatever. When the clock ticking, if you down, the clock ticking, then you're going to rush. You're going to go into rush mode, whether it's going to be in the form of a hurry-up offense in relation to football or basketball. Now you got the full court press on. You're taking chances. You're swiping at the ball, intentionally fouling. Why? Because the clock is against you. Time is against you. So what's the natural instinct? To rush, man. See? And the scriptures outline it. Read that out.
It's the book of Revelations 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens.
Right, and that's dealing with all of you out there who subscribe to these teachings. You will be those heavens, man. Right? That's why our Lord Yahweh said the kingdom of heaven is within you. So right now we are to rejoice, knowing that the kingdom is much nearer, man. Matter of fact, hold that and give me that real quick. I think there's what's that? Is that Romans?
What is that?
Salvation is near.
Oh yeah, what is it, 13 or something like that?
And 11.
Yeah.
Get that real quick. Read that one more time.
It's Revelations 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens.
Right, so we are to rejoice right now, knowing that this is monumental times, man. We're in a time where Yahweh Shema Shai is once more beginning to show favor on the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, and in doing so, overthrowing our enemies. You think it's a coincidence King David, the beloved of Yahweh Shema Shai, and his rallying cries against his enemies? The Lord is signing up. The Lord is answering that cry now. All right? The moment that these devils are beginning to being moved out of the way, you see them lose their grip of power. That's Yahweh Shema Shai beginning to show favor to us once more, man. You got to remember when you read the curses, what was a part of the curses? What was a part of our downfall? The Lord sent the eagle at us, man. The Lord gave strength to the so-called white man into which to contribute to further us being taken down. But now this man is being taken out of power. That's a signal. That's a sign that the Lord is once more showing favor to his people. All right? You got something?
This is just back on what you just said, in Isaiah 47:6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Right. So the Lord was angry with us and he gave us into the hand of our enemies. And the scripture tells you that there is no wound above the wound of an enemy, man. See? Go ahead.
And thou didst show them no mercy.
Yeah, and you showed us no mercy, man. Let's go back. Let's go back to when you brought us over here as cargo. Right? You brought the old and young. You stuffed them in damn ships. They defecated with newborn babies and shit, toddlers on the damn ship, man. As the ship swing this way, swing that way, the baby tossed. And hold up, it wasn't a 2-hour trip to Atlanta. This was fucking months, man. This is what Esau did. And when you got over here, he beat you, he raped your women, he ravished you. He fed your babies to alligators, man. He snatched your babies out of your hand. This nigga was so low down to where he split up families. He didn't even have to do it. He split up family. He had a family of 4. He sent the father to Florida and the mother to Tennessee and the children to Alabama and Georgia, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It said, and thou didn't show them no mercy.
See, and that's a form of them not showing us no mercy, man. Even to this very day. You got legislations and laws in play that's set up to vex the children of Israel. All right? What you think the 3 strike law is all about? You got drug laundering laws. Hey, for the most part, our people, in particular, the men of Israel, they got a case before they reach a certain age. That's a blot on their record. Then once they do get their shit together, right, so-called, their credit is fucked up. Ain't nobody gonna trust they can't get a job. That's the so-called white man. That was a well thought out plan, strategy that this man executed, man. Why? Because he had no mercy toward you. He has a hatred for you, which according to Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, is a perpetual hatred. When we go into that word perpetual, it means a long duration of time and forever, man. Meaning the so-called white man could never be rehabilitated. This hatred is deep rooted. It's not of this realm. The hatred that the so-called white man has for you is a spiritual hatred, man. Right? You got something?
Yeah, quick precept. It's Psalms 10 and verse 8. He says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places does he murder the innocent.
Right. In these secret councils, behind closed doors, they sit and pit snares and pitfalls and traps for the children of Israel. You know, hey, you consider our women, right, in order for them to qualify for government assistance or some shit like that, the man got to be out the house, man. You know? And that weakens the family structure. Without the man, all right, you got a woman fending for herself, raising up children. So this was a well thought out plan. It was nothing coincidental or random about you being in the situation you're in. The so-called white man and his hatred for you, he thought this out. It was well thought out, man. Right? This was war. This is a war strategy. But that war is more so now, a mental war, if you will. And that's even in the Willie Lynch letter. Right? This is a psychological form of war. Go ahead, Doc.
It says his eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yep. Privately, this man have you in his sights. You know, he view you as the prey. Go ahead.
He lied in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Right. That's what a lion do. When you consider a lion creep up on you, man. You know, they got them paws. They was designed to creep up on you where you can't see them. Well, that's the so-called white man. Another reason why the Lord compared them to a lion in this case is because a lion represents power. So this man is in power, right? Go ahead.
He lied in wait to catch the poor. He to catch the poor when he draw them into his net.
Yeah, when he draw you into his net, which is his snare, which is really America. You know, and the only way to escape out of this net is with this word, this truth. That's why the scriptures say the truth will make you free. And how is it going to make you free? Because you're going to be able to cut yourself out of this net, which this word is symbolic to a sword, man. See that? So that was it on that?
Yeah, that was it on
All
that.
right, come on.
Yeah, this Psalm 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame of mischief by a law?
Right, through their laws that frame mischief, man. You know, this is how this man have trapped and ensnared you. Matter of fact, real quick, go to the blue letter, Baba Kasha, and go to Isaiah the 10th chapter. Start at the first verse. Go ahead, I'll read that again.
Psalm 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame of mischief by a law?
Yep, so this is how they snared you, by their laws. And guess what? This scripture rings true to this very day, this very moment, and even more so. Because now you got these legislations and laws, you hear this word mandatory being thrown around in relation to the Maxine. And who is it geared toward? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You got the phrase coined vax the blacks, man, which this whole Crown 19 thing, who the face of it? Israel. You know? Now, when you consider the so-called white man, his blessing is the sword. So whenever he looked to rationalize anything out, it's done by war. And there's a saying, a quote from one of the bankers, one of the elites, the best time to buy is when blood runs in the street, man. So now, with that said, you had the war on terror, you had the war on drugs, now you got the war on the Crown 19. And who's the face of the Crown? Jake. So it all comes together, man. So this man is looking to wage war against you by way of decreeing it through his laws. Read that one more time.
Yeah, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame of mischief by a law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous.
See, they gather themselves in these meetings, these secret councils, against the souls of the lives of the righteous, man, which is dealing with Israel, but mainly is geared towards the elect and the prophets. Why? Because what we are doing, we are teaching, what we pushing forth in the form of this truth is somewhat of the kryptonite to to you to these devils, it's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's somewhat of the a raid to you cockroaches. Give me Revelation again, something. That's spirit. Yep, get that.
This on Revelation 12, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon was wroth with the women.
See, and the dragon was wroth with the women. The dragon is a metaphor for the so-called white man in this current system, which is established by his laws. That's why you have what's known as draconian laws. That goes back to that fire-breathing dragon, man. Out of his mouth is fire, which devours you. So the laws of Esau were set up to devour you. Matter of fact, give me a Psalms. I think that's Psalms 37.
Oh, that's spirit.
That's 12.
Yeah,
That's spirit. Get that real quick.
Yeah. This is Psalm 37:12. The wicked plotteth.
See, the wicked plotteth. See, go ahead.
The wicked plotteth against the just, and that's upon him with his teeth.
And gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The wicked plot against you, right? And gnasheth upon you or press upon you with his teeth. What is his teeth? His military. Where are your teeth found? In your mouth. So it's by way of the laws or what they speak, which brings forth the military, man. See? So let's go back here.
It says, and the dragon was wroth with the women and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
See, so the dragon was wroth with the woman, which the woman is overall Israel, but it says and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, who is who? The elect, man. So that's who this man is going to wage war against. That's why you see this campaign of demonizers, right? You had maybe a couple of months ago, we had these gutter rats. They was at a Black Lives Matter rally, and you had some guys to whoop their ass. And as they whooped their ass, all of a sudden they was quoting precepts. Fuck out of here, man. They was whooping their ass, chasing them off, quoting Revelation the 3rd chapter. Synagogue of Satan. That's these devils trying to wage war against us. That's them and their mischief coming up against us, man.
Propaganda.
Yeah, the propaganda of Esau. Right? Yep, go ahead.
It says, which keep the commandments of the Most High.
Yeah, read it again.
This on Revelation 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the women.
Right, so the so-called white man his military is going to come up against Israel. But that wrath is geared towards the elect. Go ahead.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
The elect, go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Which pursuant to the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter, is the spirit of prophecy. So they see us. You know, they know that we are single-handedly have posed ourselves as a threat to their society, man. So they wage war against us. Right? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, this back Psalm 37, verse 14. It said, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
See, and that's who they geared to. That's who they have their sights on. Those of us who are pushing forth this word, you know, those who have upright conversation. Go ahead.
This is the book of Daniel 8 in verse 25, verse 24. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Read it again.
It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Yep, read it again.
It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Yep.
And he shall destroy wonderfully.
Right. So the so-called white man is coming to power not by his own strength. Right. It said he shall destroy mightily. Go ahead.
And shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Yep.
It says, and through his policy.
And through what?
And through his policy.
And through his policies. Go ahead.
Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands.
See that? So through his policies, right now as we speak, this man has signed off on different legislations and laws that was set up in effort to come up against you, man. See? Go ahead.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand.
Yeah, and by peace shall he destroy many. That's the time we're about to go into. All right, this lockdown is going to be under the banner of peace. We want everybody to be healthy. You know, there's a pestilence out here that's killing everybody. So we want everybody to survive. So, you know, they're going to lock you down. But by that peace, right, they're going to destroy many, man. And that's what the devil do. Just go into the times of, Christopher Columbus and his band of goons when they encountered the natives. They presented treaties, and they made certain covenants and pacts, and they broke every one of them, man. They was the ones who initiated the covenant. The natives weren't even thinking about the covenant. They came, look, let's make a covenant. It's showing that we'll always be with peace. So they can lure you to sleep and come back around, double cross you, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right. No man is left out, or some shit that had they framed with the vaccine. Except they doing you a favor. No man is left out. I don't care if you don't have money. We're gonna make sure you're vaxxed. Give me that in Sirach 12. Go ahead.
Kind. It says, but war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart, man. And a vivid illustration of that is what I just mentioned with Christopher Columbus, man. They came over here and they came under the banner of the gods of peace, but war was in their heart. They was plotting. He was writing his memoirs. Oh, that's a form of their writing legislation, man. He wrote in his memoirs and sent back to the queen that we could take these people with 50 men, you know? But as we fast forward to today, that war in their heart is going into their secret councils, man, where they plotting up against you. Right? That was it?
A little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It says his words were softer than oil,
Mm-hmm.
yet they drawing swords.
Yeah, their words were softer than oil, yet they was drawing swords. See? I go ahead up.
Yeah, this Rock 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
Yeah, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. You know? So again, that's the form of this man telling you he's for you.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want no one to be affected by this pestilence, the Crown 19. So we're going to make sure you're vaccinated. You know? So that's a form of him speaking sweetly with his lips, but
in his heart.
But in his heart, again, goes into what goes on behind the scenes, what this man is plotting, what he's actually looking to bring forth. Go ahead.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
Yeah, he's imagining how to throw you into a pit, man. How to snare you and trap you. Go ahead.
He was weak with his eyes.
Yeah, he was weak with his eyes. He had the funeral with you. Oh, you remember, what's the movie, shit, what's that? Oh, yeah, Pac in it. That was... Not that one. It was another old one. Shit. Juice. Y'all saw Juice. The nigga killed the nigga. He had the funeral.
Yeah.
And sold the guy's mother, man.
Yeah, man.
That's E. Yeah, if we said, they're gonna make some niggas mad. That's E, man. Read that again.
It says he was weak with his eyes.
Yep. So this man have you think that he's with you. Go ahead.
But if he find opportunity.
And this is the perfect opportunity right here. And you notice ever since they had this opportunity right here, going all the way back from the first time they presented it over there with them gooks, gooks falling out. They latched on to it. They didn't let it go, man. Yeah. They even told you it's dying down now, but this winter is coming back. This is the opportunity for them to pounce on you, man. This is the opportunity for these devils to try and with one last grasp, you know, in this desperate plea to maintain their power. You got to remember, this whole New World Order is not a thing of luxury. It's not like these devils like, you know what, we're going to create a New World Order. We want to upgrade, you know? No, this is out of desperation, man. Their very life depends on them establishing this New World Order. Because guess what? They know the prophecies, man. They know about that rod of iron. And Lord willing, we're going to go into that soon.
Yeah, go ahead. They let you know they rolling the dice on it. They in the bunkers now.
Yeah.
They let you know it's a roll of a dice anyway. They just hoping when the smoke clear fall in their favor, man.
Oh, well, you know, you got a lot of these CEOs, they just walked off of their jobs. You don't even know about that, man. See, this thing real. You got a lot of CEOs, high ranking, you know, executives, these different Fortune 500 companies. They resigned. People don't even know why. They gave up. Oh, you got a lot of people, a lot of these big time investors, they cashed out on a lot of things and just left the business high and dry. And what do you think they at? They're in a damn bunker, man. They bracing themselves for the aftermath, the fallout of the prophecies. See? Go ahead.
It says he was weak with his eyes, but if he find opportunity.
And this is the opportunity, man. That's why you see this a sense of urgency. You know, it's a premium put on these devils. Look, this is the thing, right? They tell you if you don't get Maxine, then they're gonna take away your food stamps or. So you're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me because you don't want me. You love me so much. You love me so much. You don't want me to die. You don't want me to die this way.
Yeah.
You want me to die that way. You don't want me to die because of the crown. I love you so much. So I want if you don't get this shot, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna take away everything else from you, man. Let's show you the desperation of Esau, man. See? Go ahead.
It says, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Go ahead.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Right, so you're gonna find this man here first. He's gonna be the one with a solution, an exit plan. Yep, you know what can happen if you don't take this. You know that can happen. So we got a solution for you now. You know, you take this Maxine. That's him being there first, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, and though he pretend to help
See, and what?
Though he pretend to help thee.
And though he pretend, who that's talking about, man? Is that talking about the guy in the underworld with a red spandex suit and a pitchfork? No, that's talking about our enemies, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says,
this man is adamant about taking you down. His very existence is all about taking you down, man. Go ahead.
And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much.
When they say he will whisper much, that goes into these secret councils again. Because you don't hear this man plotting on you, man. He's not coming out in the media saying, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, and in order for us to continue to rule, we got to take you out. No, he's not going to say that. He's saying that behind closed doors. He's whispering this, man. All right, go ahead.
And change his countenance.
And what?
Change his countenance.
And change his countenance, meaning you're going to see this man for what he really is, and that's the devil and Satan that the Bible speaks of. All right, go ahead, give me what you got.
Okay, this Psalms 57, verse 4. My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire.
See that? Our soul are amongst lions, man. You know, we right here amongst our enemies. See, we just read where the Lord was wroth with his people, and he gave us over into the hand of our enemies, man. This man actually physically took us and brought us over here and made us subjects, placed us under his foot, man. Right? Go ahead.
Even the sons of men.
Even the sons of men, go ahead.
Whose teeth are spears.
Yep.
And arrows.
This is military. Go ahead.
And their tongue a sharp sword.
And their tongue a sharp sword. And their tongue, again, goes into their legislations and laws. So if your tongue is a sword, that means whatever rhetoric you push forth in the form of your legislations is all an effort to wage war. We're going to go back here to this. What we got?
It's back in CNN Politics. It says, Justice Department.
Justice Department. So this justice, right? Justice Department, go ahead.
Russian.
The Russian, knowing that you have but a short time, you Russian, go ahead.
To expand execution methods.
To expand execution methods. Why would you have to expand execution methods? That means you anticipate mass death. That's what's taking place, man. Which when you go into FEMA, they got these FEMA. You can Google this information. There's nothing hidden. This is not a breakdown. When you go into FEMA camps, that means FEMA, they got coffins. They got ready-made. How would you call it? I don't want to say it.
Like tight packing.
Yeah.
It's like 6 by 1.
Disposable coffins.
Yeah, something like that. I was looking for a word, not microwave. You know, like on not on the go. No, you something that you could do on the fly.
Yeah.
You know, ready-made, instant. You know, coffins, man. See, why is that? Because they anticipate a large amount of death. See, go ahead.
It says the Justice Department rushing to expand execution methods like firing squads.
Well, so that's one of the methods they're going to use. Firing squads, right? Go ahead.
It says for federal death row inmates.
Then
it says The Justice
Now
Department.
hold up. It says for federal death row inmates. Why all of a sudden that's a big deal? Out of all these years you worried about death row inmates, you know who that's going to be? It's going to be you people, and we're going to show you that the time we're about to go into is going to be what is known as summary execution. Well, you're going to end up a death row inmate on the fly. We're going to show you that. Matter of fact, before you go there, read the rest of those methods. Did you read?
No, that was just in that title right there. I ain't
you didn't get to the methods.
I ain't get to the methods yet. They said one of them gonna be electrocution,
Mm-hmm.
and it said firing squad.
I got
Yeah, go ahead. Give me
definition, definition of summary execution.
Yeah, we got that too. Hold that real quick. Before we go there, I want
Others
to.
say they were hanging and shit too.
You know what? I believe you got. I don't know what source you got to and from. Go ahead and go there and let him look that up.
Okay,
While you got it?
yeah.
All right,
It says,
hold that. Go ahead.
It said there are 28 states that allow federal and state executions,
Mm-hmm.
and the lethal injection is the primary manner of execution.
Mm-hmm.
At least 9 of those states allow for alternative methods, such as electrocution, lethal gas, firing squad, and hanging.
Yep, and hanging. Go ahead.
It said hanging will not mention in the admin rule.
Okay, so now they rushing to expand.
Mhm.
You know, they methods of execution. We're going to show you why. All right. So real quick, well, I think y'all got the same one.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, you go ahead and get this.
All right, Kanye, this summary execution. It says summary execution is an execution in which a person is accused of a crime.
Right, you're going to be accused of a crime. Now remember, you got the red list, blue list, and yellow list. Now it's all starting to come together, because if you come up against what these devils is pushing forth, right? Like we said, they love you so much to where if you don't get this vaccine, then we're gonna kill you. In fact, you're gonna be guilty. That's gonna be a crime. That's gonna be a crime. All right. Now, it's not even. We don't even have to mention that what we're doing could be considered treason or others that teach against the powers that be, and even those of you who believe or subscribe to these teachings. Look, they monitoring you, man. You know. So now let's read this summary execution. Go ahead.
It says summary execution is an execution in which a person is accused of a crime.
Accused of a crime. So you got to remember that crime is going to range. Whatever they deem as a crime, we just went into their laws, right? Now you're going to qualify for summary execution. Go ahead.
And immediately killed.
And immediately killed, meaning you're not going to go to court. Matter of fact, continue.
It says without the benefit of a full and fair trial.
Without the benefit of a full and fair trial. That's what's coming to America, man. All right, summary execution, where you're going to be called up on charges and you're not going to have a trial. You're not going to have a court date. Where you got a lawyer, you book a lawyer, and you fight the charge. You know, that day, they're going to say, oh, you're guilty, sign up, and they're going to take you off, and they're going to put you to death, man. They're going to have a FEMA camp waiting on you, a FEMA coffin. Go ahead.
The executions as a result of summary justice, such as drumhead court-martial, are sometimes included, but the term generally refers to capture, accusation, and execution, all conducted within a very short period of time.
Within probably 6 hours, you're captured. You know, they identify and target you as the corporate, and they execute you, man. Right? And that's why you see this, and that's a form of speed thing. That's a form of rushing. That's Revelation the 12th chapter again. This devil knowing that they have but a short time, so everything gonna speed up. Even the method of how you're gonna be executed, everything gonna speed up.
I got a quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Take one back you up. This Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast.
Right. Any of you that don't comply, right? The image of the beast is his legislations, which is going to translate over to the time of Jacob trouble. We're going to show you that through the Spirit. Go ahead.
It says, and as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Shall be killed. And this is going to be this process is going to be sped up. That's why you got summary execution. See? Go ahead.
It says, but the term generally refers to capture, accusation, and execution, all conducted within a very short period of time and without any trial. It said under international law, refusal to accept lawful surrender and come back, and instead killing the person surrendering is also categorized as a summary execution.
See that? So this is how this man going to rationalize things out by way of his sword. All right. Now, real quick, go back to the Isaiah 10 in the blue letter. Let's get that. We're going to show you through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah, that these laws and legislations pretty much is going to be the bridge to the time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. And once and for all, silence in the mouths of you simple niggas who bring in your heresies. You got Israelites out there, a nigga with fringes, telling you that there's no Jacob's trouble, which we're going to show you that there's a Jacob's trouble coming. And we just showed you summary execution, which we went into an article, which is, it just came out. It couldn't have been a week old, fresh off the press. Well, give me, when did it come out?
The 29th. What day? 30th.
It came out the 29th. That was yesterday. See? Proving that all these things are going to contribute to, this is going to build up to that climax, which is Jacob's trouble. And again, it starts off with this man's laws and legislation. Now, real quick, let's read the scripture first, then we're going to get the word.
This is the book of Isaiah 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
See, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Summary execution is an unrighteous decree. Or you not being able to go and come as you please, go to the supermarket or get the necessities, the basic necessities for life and survival, food and bread and water, because you won't take a goddamn a needle, man. That's an unrighteous decree, which that law is already on the book. It's already ready. See, these devils is not going to come up. It's already ready. They already got everything in play to come after you, man. That's why they're going to have the military to enforce these injections, man. Right? Why is that? Because if you don't take them, if you resist it, by default, you're already breaking the legislation and the law, which the scripture have deemed as an unrighteous decree. Read that again.
It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Go ahead.
And that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Yep, and right grievousness, see? And right grievousness in which they have prescribed. Now look up that word grievousness.
The word grievous, it says on Strong's H5999, it says toil, trouble.
What?
Trouble.
What?
Trouble.
Trouble, man. So this is going to be the bridge to that time of Jacob's trouble, man. It's going to be headed by what they write, by the laws and decrees. Hey, when you read, what's that? I think that it's that, if I'm not mistaken, it's that Acts, the second chapter where it talk about James, where it pleased, when Herod cut off the head of James,
yeah, please.
And it was pleasing to the Jew. That because he wrote decrees on that, man. He set up laws to vex the church. You know? So that's what we're reading right here. These grievous laws. Let's read the definition for grievous again. Read through them.
It says toil, trouble, labor, trouble.
See? Trouble. Continue.
Trouble.
Trouble again. Trouble again. See, trouble. What else?
Mischief.
Mischief. You see it all come together. We just read what this man is mischief, right? Matter of fact, give me Psalms. I think it's Psalm 62 and Psalm 62 and 4 or 5. Matter of fact, start at the third verse, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, start at the top of Psalm 62.
This Psalm 62 and 1. Truly my soul waiteth upon the Most High. From him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation.
Right. So our Lord, through Yahweh Shai, is going to be our salvation. No, we're not coming up with any other plans over here, man. You know, as far as stockpiling weapons and food and, anything external, man, overexerting ourselves in relation to establishing our own salvation. No, we solely put our trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. Go ahead.
He said, he is my defense.
See, here's my defense. Go ahead.
I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you imagine mischief?
See? How long were you what?
Imagine mischief against a man.
See that's what Esau come in. And that imagine goes back into your thoughts. You're in a goddamn secret council, secret meeting, plotting and planning mischief. And then you presented it. We see what the mischief is now. The mischief is this mystery pestilence where Jake gonna have to get inoculated. Fucking devil, you man. Go ahead.
It says, how long?
That's the plan he came up with.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
It said, how long will you imagine mischief
See,
against
which
a man?
which is actually mischief, man. See, go ahead.
Ye shall be slain, all of you, as a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down.
See, you're consulting and cast us down. Go ahead.
From his excellency.
From our excellency, man. You know? Go ahead.
They delight in lies.
They delight in lies. What they pushing forth is a lie, man. Motherfucker saying there's a spike 120. And I was just talking to one of the brothers, the brother from Mississippi, the brother Yashin, he was saying that in Mississippi, they said it's 100 and I think he said 125% spike. And I mean, I should know somebody now, man. Yeah. Come on, goddamn. I should know somebody who died now from it. Go ahead.
It said they delight in lies.
They delight in lies. See, go ahead.
They bless with their mouth.
They bless with their mouth. We doing this for your best interest. And which, by the way, when did these devils ever gave a fuck about the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, man? Now all of a sudden, did they give a fuck when AIDS was in your neighborhood, man? You know, diabetes. You know what they did? They put pork chops. They made sure they loaded up Piggly Wigglies in your hood. As more and more grandmothers and aunties' toes was cut off, man. Oh, what about cancer? They put more cigarettes in the hood, man. They didn't say, you know what, let's take cigarettes, man. We want y'all to live, man. Or we already mentioned AIDS, or what's the other one? Is
sickle cell.
Yeah, sickle cell, syphilis.
Syphilis, yep.
That shit dominated and rocked the so-called black community. But what you did, you know?
Got a quick precept. This on 2nd Ezra 11 in verse 42. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that have brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Right, and that's what you're guilty of, man. And it's well documented that you offended in that area. Again, just go back to the natives, man. They did. Hey, even Judah, when you brought us over here as cargo, they did you no harm, man. Yet you rounded them up and threw them on those ships and brought them over here as cargo, man. All right, and you know the rest of the story. That was it.
I got another
one. Go ahead.
It's on Psalm 59 verse 7. Behold, they bleach out their mouth, swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear?
Yep, and that's dealing with their laws again. Swords are in their lips, man. So their laws translates to the drama that's coming, man. See, go ahead.
It says, but thou, O Lord, shall laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision.
Yeah, and that's what you're witnessing as well. They're in derision. Because you see right now, there's no creativity with these devils in this bullshit. It's just like, goddamn. Oh, when you go into the fight, the Tyson fight, the goddamn referee named Mike Corona, man. The fuck is that? He probably was never a referee. Nobody ever heard of him. That's Esau in his desperation, man. He lost it. He ain't got it no more. There was a time when this man could run circles around you, man, through his media. You know, you watch some shit and you was all in. But now you got everybody questioning this, man. You even got other Edomites that's not willing to hearken or yield, you know, to the idea of being vaccinated, man. So again, when did these devils ever gave a fuck about you, man? You know, or anybody for that matter, the higher ups. You know, again, AIDS. Did they shut down brothels and strip clubs or anything that promoted unsafe sex or whatever? A sin city? They kept pushing that shit, man. You know, the porn industry, all that, they kept promoting that shit, but AIDS was dead. Why didn't they say, you know what? this is killing people. Let's shut this. No, now all of a sudden you got a pestilence that really they say is equivalent to a sniff, having a cold, a slight cold. That's all it is. Now they shutting everything down, man. You know what that is? That's this man in his desperation to try to sidestep the prophecies, man.
I got
Yep, go ahead.
this Obadiah verse 8. He says, "Shall not I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?"
Yeah, that's what you're witnessing, man. The wisdom is being taken away from these devils, man. Hey, they stumbling. They're pretty much reaching, man. You know, go ahead.
And understanding out of the mount of Esau.
Yeah, so understanding is being taken from you devils. That's why this is a sloppy job. You know what you trying to present to us, man. It makes no sense. Go ahead.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed.
Yeah, now you being dismayed. You are confounded. Right? Go ahead.
It says, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
See that? Go ahead.
It's the book of Job 18 and verse 5. It says, yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
Yeah, see, the light of the wicked is being put out. Go ahead.
And the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Yeah. So now you're in the dark. You know that and that quickness, is being taken away from you, man. Go ahead.
It says the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him.
Yep. All right. Go ahead. Get more.
A little bit more. It says the steps of his strength shall be straightened.
Yep. The steps of your strength is being straightened right now. This man is in straits as he, in his pursuit to establish his new world order and crown of success, is being halted, is being hindered, man. He's running into all types of problems and obstacles, mainly in the form of the prophets. That's why you see this man, he's looking to shut down certain channels. He's looking to muzzle his word because it's a direct attack against what he's trying to bring forth. Go ahead.
It says his own counsel shall cast him down.
Yeah, so the very thing that you're pushing out is really condemning you. You got people questioning you. What the hell do you mean? That, that this causes this or causes that. And even when you have certain people to get the shot, then the side effects. You got the one guy with the big tongue. His tongue it weighs 7 pounds, 3 ounces. He got a newborn baby tongue, man. But it was all because of the shot, man. So you're gonna have a huge resistance. That's a form of this man being in straits. All right, just go ahead up. Yeah, all right. So now, that was it. Let's go to that word. Let's go to that word bitter real quick. Real quick, give me Amos while he getting there. I think Amos 8 and 10. So we're gonna go into how this place America, in the latter end of it, is going to be centered around bitterness, man. You're not going to find any form of relief, solace, peace, or serenity here in America, man. This place finished. The only comfort is going to come by way of cleaving, believing on the scriptures. See that? Making your how about Shema Havashah your refuge. See? So now real quick, let's get this word bitter.
Yeah, this is the word bitter. Strong's H4751. It says bitterness of water or food.
Yep, and that word that would be mar, right? Mar. Go ahead.
It says of hardness and of wickedness.
It says, read that again. It says bitterness. Go ahead.
It says of water or food.
Go ahead.
Of hardness and
of harlot's end. See, harlot's end. Who is the harlot? America. Let's get let's get that real quick. I was thinking about Proverbs, but don't worry about it. Let's get Revelation. Now let's get Revelation.
All right,
get Revelation.
This is like Revelation chapter 17 and 1. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels who had 7 vials and taught me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show you the judgment of the great whore.
I'll show you the what?
The judgment of the great whore.
Yep, go ahead.
That sitteth upon many waters.
That sitteth upon many waters. So that whore would be America. That's a metaphor for America. All right? And the many waters that she sit on, that's twofold. That's symbolic to the people. And also the fact that America, is an import. You got these different docks. This is where America get all this resources. They sit on these waters. They get the two different coasts. But that whore translates to this same harlot, man. Right? You got something? You got another precept? Read that definition again for bitter.
Con. It says bitter, Strong's H 4751 is mar. It says bitter. Bitterness.
Mar or Amar, which really goes into America, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says bitterness.
Bitterness, go ahead.
Of water or food.
Go ahead.
Of heartless end.
Of harlots end. So the end of America, which is a harlot, would be bitter. See that? We about to go. Do you know it's a word that's attached to winter, bitter, a bitter winter? So everything is coming together beautiful, man. That's why Yahweh made the statement, pray that your flight be not in the winter. And you got these devils saying this is going to be the darkest, coldest winter, right? Well, that's going to contribute to the bitterness, man, which is going to actually spill over, which we believe through the Spirit, into 2021, which they have targeted a date, around spring, summer, where they're looking to have everybody to roll out these. They're looking to roll out these vaccines, and the military is looking to have everybody dealt with, man. So it's a harlot's end. You got something? Give me, yeah. Matter of fact, before you get that, give me Proverbs 23. Proverbs 23 and 27. Real quick.
This is Proverbs 23 and 27. It said, for a whore is a deep ditch.
See, a whore is a deep ditch, right? That's America. Go ahead.
And a strange woman is a narrow pit.
And a strange woman is a narrow pit. Go ahead.
She also lies in wait.
See? She what?
She also lies in wait.
Now, another thing about lying in wait, it comes into the end. When you lie in wait, you don't snap on it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Lying in wait is at the end of something. You get it in the end. See? Go ahead.
She also lies in wait as for a prey.
That's for a prey, and the prey in this case would be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Go ahead.
And increaseth the transgressors of men.
See, and increaseth the transgressors of men. And guess what? That's the bitterness of the scriptures right there, man, what we're giving you. And the fact that all hell is about to break loose now. All right? So now give me that Amos 8. Unless you have more on that?
I think that was it on that.
Okay, cut. You mean Amos 8?
This Amos 8 and 10. It said, and I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentations.
Read this again.
It said, and I will turn your feasts into mourning.
Right, and that's what you're witnessing, man. The Lord is turning all of your feasts, beginning with you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, into mourning, man. Right? Go ahead. And the feast, what falls under the banner of feast? The club. Different spots you go to, happy hour. That's the feast, man. And the obvious, Thanksgiving at your grandma's house, man. The Lord gonna turn all that into mourning. Go ahead.
It said, all your songs into lamentations.
All your songs into lamentations. Jake, the psycho babbling. You see a nigga in the car rapping along to, not even that. A nigga walk up in the restaurant rapping to himself, man. So the Lord gonna turn your songs into mourning as well, into lamentations. Right? Go ahead.
It said, and I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins,
Go ahead.
and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day.
And the what?
The end thereof as a bitter day.
And the end thereof as a bitter day. So the end of this whole society is going to be bitter. And that's why you go into that word, bitter. It translates to a harlot's end. A harlot's end, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. This is the most powerful book on the planet Earth. And that's why we thank Yahweh Shema Shai, for giving us a glimpse, an in-depth look into his intents and purposes and plans, man. because it gives us comfort, knowing first and foremost, if the Lord, it's like this. I used this analogy before. If you're in a party and somebody come whisper in your ear, "Hey, get out of here! I'm about to shoot this motherfucker up." That's mercy, man. You know, you're going to get out of there. Why? Because you was given the information. So that means the Lord got love for you. The Lord gave you this information, allows you to see what he's about to do. Then that's the Lord prepping you so that you might prepare yourself and take cover. All right? Anybody got something else? Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in this work. And as always, you believe it's the Akim and the Aqua that subscribe to the truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom, DTA of Bob the Ball.